Hello and welcome to Self-Helped, the show where we've done the therapy so that you don't have to.
I'm Tully Smythe.
And I'm Maggie Kelly.
And while we're not licensed professionals, we sure have kept quite a few of them in business.
We're best friends in very different life stages, but from shrinks to bookstore bargain bins, we've both sampled the full self-help buffet.
And now it's our turn to dish it out, secondhand, reheated and seasoned with some questionable life choices. This is Self-Helped. On today's episode, we're diving headfirst into one of life's biggest existential spirals. Are we ever actually ready for kids? I mean, I think I am, but am I really? And does Maggie secretly want another one? We cover it all, from ticking clocks to cozy living chaos and the 3 a.m. thoughts that babies bring.
Then we're going to dissect Tinder's brand new double date feature and wonder why it took them so long. Because honestly, we would have ran that thing into the ground back in our heyday. Plus, we play another fun but controversial game, Underrated or Overrated.
As always, it's a little bit of therapy with a sweet treat at the end. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss out. Welcome back to your Temu on the couch therapist, where we have all the gear and no idea.
I think we have some idea, at least of some of the ideas we've picked up and learnt from our very real, very actually qualified therapist.
True, that is true. But this entire podcast is basically Sisterhood of the Travelling therapy. I'm not wearing any pants, speaking of Sisterhood of the Travelling pants. But before Blake got cancelled. Is she cancelled? I've literally tuned out. I've stopped caring.
I don't know, Blake who? Tully-Ann, you were my dear patient today. So it's time for you to kick off your shoes, get comfortable, because therapy is now in session. Ding! All right, Tull, what delicious morsel of millennial woman chaos have you brought for us today?
Apart from this fit and and this hair. No, actually, today's topic wasn't actually my idea. We did throw to our Instagram followers.
We did. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
You've got lots of therapy thoughts and feelings.
They do. And we asked them what they wanted to hear us talk about, pull apart, dissect. And this topic was actually suggested quite a few times, and it's no surprises, really.
Okay, we love some audience participation. So please tell me, what are we talking about?
This week on Self-Helped, we're navigating one of life's biggest questions. Are we ever truly ready for kids?
Oh, gosh, just a little small, little teeny tiny topic.
Yeah.
But really, for women, especially of our age group, this is one of life's biggest decisions right now.
It sure is. And so let's just set the scene here, right?
Alrighty.
I've done some digging, I've crunched some numbers. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average age for mothers in Australia has steadily climbed from around 28.3, so about 28, in 2010 to nearly 29.9 in 2022, while the share of first-time mothers over 35s is rising fast. And yet, Maggie, I continue, the national fertility rate is at an all-time low of 1.5 babies per woman.
I want 0.5
I was going to say, how does that work out? I'm not sure. Highlighting how many of us are choosing or postponing parenthood. Now, on a personal level, you and probably everybody else that's listening and who's followed me on Instagram knows I've wanted to be a mum for as long as I can remember. But some days I am also having lunch at 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and that lunch is actually just a chocolate YoGo where you dip the little chocolate bits.
Yum.
Yeah, but that's
delicious.
not, I'm barely taking care of myself some days. So it's like, am I ready? Am I actually ready? Am I emotionally ready? Am I financially ready? Like, there's a lot to kind of consider.
Would you share your chocolate YoGo, do you think, or is it just yours?
Oh, I would absolutely share my chocolate YoGo.
With your child, not with me.
Yes, absolutely. I would share my chocolate YoGo. In fact, it would just give me an excuse to buy more chocolate YoGos.
And that's the whole episode. That's the end.
And that's it. And that's our pull apart of this really big, massive life question.
Exactly. It's called the chocolate YoGo theory. You heard it here first. Meanwhile, Tull, I mean, this is a topic that's also not beyond those who have had children, because while you're thinking of, do I want to have children? I'm out here thinking, do I want to have more children?
Yeah, and your answer on that question changes with the wind. So this episode we ask, what does being ready even mean in a world where women are having babies later but maybe never feel truly prepared? So I guess, Maggie, it's all well and good to say I am maternal. I have that sort of bone in my body where it feels like I've been put on this earth to be a mum.
To share your YoGo.
To share my YoGo, yes, if I have to. But there's also this level of sort of emotional readiness. Right? So it's not just about wanting kids. It's about asking yourself whether you're in the right headspace. And now that I've shared with our listeners that I have been diagnosed with ADHD, I really do feel like I am truly in a place where I feel mentally, emotionally ready for kids. But you do have to ask yourself, do I have the patience? Do I have the resilience? Do I have the self-awareness to take on a role that's 24/7? And I think emotional readiness can feel slippery, right? One day you're desperate to be a parent and the next you're questioning whether you can even keep a houseplant alive. Like I think I would make such a great mum and I'm so great with my niece and Ned's nieces. But then there are also those mornings where I wake up at 12 and I've ordered Macca's for breakfast. And like you would have Minty that needs to be fed and like watered.
It's true. She does need to be fed and watered. And it's a lot of pressure. I mean, it's a lot of pressure I hear you putting on yourself. I think all women do it. We need to have our ducks in a row before we have a kid.
Yeah.
And I will build on that by saying that I think finance is another big one, like not a sexy topic, but people go, hey, I want to own a house. I want to kick some big financial goals before I get to that point of having a child because it is expensive. So I think all in all, we're just looking at a lot of pressure that people are putting on themselves before they even get down to the question of, do I want to have a child?
Yeah. It's a big question. I think there's also obviously there's society expectations, right? You turn 30 and suddenly there are clocks in your ears and you see all these ads about—
Or just people in your ears going, is it time?
Yeah.
Are you ready to have a child?
When are you doing it? By now I had 3 children. Back in my day I had a grandchild by now. And it's like, mate, my bedroom plant, like my bedroom cactus is literally dying. Like give me a break.
I don't think you can kill a cactus, can you?
You can kill a cactus. Do you know how you kill a cactus?
You don't give it YoGo.
No, you overwater it. I kill it with love.
Killed it with kindness.
I know it's a desert plant. Anyway, we digress. The biological clock is always ticking.
Yes.
I think we are told from very young that fertility does decline with age. We know this. There is a sense of urgency from the time you basically hit 30. When I hit 35, the bells that were kind of ringing, there was a dull alarm clock going off. And then I hit 35, went through a breakup.
Yes.
And that alarm clock was like,
Right.
It was
Now. Go.
It was like
shag.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
What did you do?
I used the word shag.
Oh, ding. Shag. No, well, I was single, so I wasn't getting I was not shagging in the slightest.
I don't know if that's true. But I think you're right, Tal. I think that you hit that certain age and it's pressure from outside, it's pressure from inside. I think this is a wonderful topic. Really interesting combination of perspectives. You really wanting to have your first child, me kind of sitting on the fence or off the fence, depends what day you get me, about having more children. Shall we get stuck into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, Mags. I mean, you and I have these chats all the time. And as I said before, I feel like your answer to this question changes as often as you change your headscarves, which is frequently. But as a mum of one,
Yes.
did you feel ready when you got pregnant with Minty? And I don't think I even know this.
No, I don't think we've ever spoken about it.
Like, were you guys planning? Was it a happy surprise?
Well, it's not really a question
Christmas
you ask
miracle?
someone.
I know you don't ask. No, you don't
get pregnant.
ask.
Someone goes, "Oh, was it an accident?"
I think, we've definitely passed the age where your friend messages you or calls you up and says they're pregnant and you go, oh no, like was it an accident?
Yeah, right.
So what, I don't think we've ever spoken about whether you were...
Well, I mean, when I was thinking about this, I actually couldn't remember myself and I had to go back and check my journals because I obviously journal a lot. And it was discussed. So we had moved back quite recently from living overseas. We were in like month 2 of COVID lockdown. So it was a really weird time.
But good time to nest.
A good time to
There was a baby boom in lockdown.
There was a baby boom and we were part of it. So I think we'd sort of had this discussion where we're like, okay, so we're back. We're basically locked in this house for the foreseeable future. If there was ever a time to do it, this feels like the right time. However, what I will say, without being crass, it was first go.
Wow.
First go.
I'm hearing that more and more.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise, but it was surprising. It was surprising.
How quick it happened? Did you think you had some time up your sleeve?
Literally 1 week we're going, hey, let's do it. Let's have a kid. very new concept. I mean, let's think of me in that stage of my life. I was pretty wild. And then the next minute you're looking at a positive pregnancy test. So yeah, it was a real shock. It was a real shock.
But did you feel ready?
Oh, no.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, no. And do you know what? I think it was like a week before my birthday and I'd had this huge
party plan,
which had already been skimmed down because of COVID. But I had friends traveling from interstate. You know,
you guys wouldn't have had the restrictions that we had down here in Melbourne.
No.
Because you were living in Brisbane.
That's right. Yeah. Queensland was very loosey-goosey, easy breezy. So I'd had this really fun night planned, seeing people for the first time since moving back. And this is so bad, but my first thought was,
I can't drink.
Oh no, my party.
Yeah. Was this the jungle party that you had?
No, that was before. And I think I'm going to get arrested because these are a lot of parties to be having during COVID lockdown.
But it was Brisbane.
It was Brisbane.
Like it's different rules,
Tropical. Yeah.
I think what you just said before, it's something that, again, I'm hearing more and more. You know, another girlfriend of mine recently got pregnant first go.
Wow.
And I think we spend so much of our lives, right? So much of our teenage years especially, doing everything and anything we can to not get pregnant.
Yeah.
We're never told or educated on how to get pregnant.
Yeah.
We're never educated on IVF or, you know, endometriosis and the effect that might have on our pregnancies. All we're taught from like 13 onwards is
condoms
do not
on
get
a banana.
Do not get pregnant. I mean, I was even scared of like getting in a spa.
Oh yeah.
Thinking that maybe one of the guys in the spa had like jerked off in the spa and I was going to get like the sperm swimming up.
Tully is currently throwing furtive looks to our 26-year-old male producer who's in the studio going, what the fuck is she talking about?
No, like,
I mean, also people remember that Tully was a lesbian for a few years.
I love that you keep bringing that up. Like I've not shared that part of my life yet, but you seem to really want to talk about
Let's take it out.
No, it's fine. I mean, like everyone knows. Anyway, my point is, Mags, is that we spend a lot of our life trying not to get pregnant.
True.
And then, you know, I hear different stories. Some people have, you know, a really hard time getting pregnant and experience years of infertility, have to end up using IVF if they're lucky. But I'm also hearing these times of like, and that, I'm going to be real with you, that really terrifies me. Because I think I just have in my head that if Ned and I decided to start trying, it would take a little bit. It wouldn't be like—
Well, that's what you think, right? And I mean, I guess that we were raised by the kind of films and books and narratives that—
Where the stork brings the baby?
If only childbirth also worked like that. But, you know, I think we were raised by this concept of you become an adult and you feel ready. And then when you're like settled down in your
Mummy and Daddy love each other very much.
When in reality, I think even people that know they want to have children for a long time, that moment where you look at the pregnancy test and it's positive, I'm not sure that anyone in that moment's like, oh yeah, checks out, pretty good. Yep, let's get going.
I guess unless you have been struggling with infertility, right? Like a girlfriend of mine, Tara, she shared her IVF journey on TikTok and you know, so touching, so beautiful, but also so devastating. She just had her first baby, so very exciting.
Oh, yay, Tara.
But I feel like they would be ecstatic with a positive test. But do you think that—
weirdness in that moment, I will tell you, is for the first time in your life, there is something inside you.
Yeah. Well, not the first time in your life. I mean, how did the baby get there in the first place? You know what I mean?
Well, Tal, look, I want to ask you. I mean, you've wanted to be a mum for as long as you can remember. Do you think that desire came from within you, or like we're talking about these stories and expectations that we were kind of raised with?
No, that is very, very much me. I have loved kids and babies since I was very little. I had 2 younger brothers, but then we also had nannies because my parents work full time and they started having kids and mum allowed them to bring their kids to work. So once I got to a certain age, I would start helping my nannies look after their babies. And I was like the resident babysitter in the street. Even when I was at university studying journalism, I loved kids and missed them so much that I was a nanny whilst I was—
I remember that. Yeah, you were. Yeah.
So I've just always had this maternal mother energy since— I can't remember a time when I wasn't like that. And so it's definitely me. The desire is all mine, not just society talking, even if I am doing it a hell of a lot later than I thought I would be.
True. But, you know, I believe in your mummy journey. I think it's only just beginning. And I mean, kind of funny, Tal, because I am the least maternal person you will ever meet. I don't think I'd even held a baby by the time Minty came. So, you know.
I hear a lot of my friends that have kids have that same.
Oh, I'm a gay man. Like I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Who is this person?
I would be lying, and maybe this is a whole separate episode, but I would be lying if I said that it isn't hard some days watching my friends who have been openly questioning whether they even want to have kids get pregnant when I'm still patiently waiting in the wings for my turn.
Yeah, it must feel like a real offense. You know, it's like when I see people buying a house and I go, I would give anything for that opportunity. Do you know how lucky you are?
Yeah, I just feel like, that's kind of it. Like I'm so desperate to be a mum, and I want it so badly, and I'm so sure as well. That's the thing, I'm so sure. Especially now I've met the right person. And when I see these friends who are like, oh, well, I guess this is, you know, it'll be fine. I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Like, why aren't you more excited?
Yes.
That's probably a whole other episode, I think.
Well, no, I think it's really important, and I think it's a good reminder when we're having these conversations that we all need to be mindful of who's on the other end of who's listening to what you have to say. Tull, when we think about your life right now, chocolate YoGos aside, what do you feel like you would want to change before having a baby, if anything?
There's a lot, apart from, maybe like eating some vegetables and like some protein for lunch. But I think in all seriousness, the financial side is probably something that I would have to make a lot of compromises with and on. And get a hell of a lot better with budgeting and saving. You know, I've never been good at that.
We'll get you around a spreadsheet one of these days.
Yeah, like I just live paycheck to paycheck. I always have. And I don't know if it's because I don't want to blame my parents, but I think with mum getting ill in my teenage years, there wasn't really any time to go through budgeting and saving and stocks and shares. Like when I hear my friends have stocks and shares, like we were just trying to
survive.
Yeah.
You're out there fighting for your damn life.
Yeah,
So
and
was I in
again-
my early 20s. Like we didn't have that chapter.
No. And then again, we're not taught this in school.
No.
Like we're taught algebra, and I can tell you who built the pyramids, but I can't tell you how to, you know, open a high interest savings account.
No, and I think female financial literacy is a real problem. I am exiting my financial flop era right now and really working hard to teach myself these things. But if you don't start in your 20s, I mean, by the time
You're on the
you're ready
back
to have
foot.
kids, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it does not help that with my line of work, I don't have a regular payday. Back when I worked in advertising, right, I knew exactly what I'd be paid and when, right? The 15th of every month, I'd get paid X amount. I could have direct debits come out of my account. I could have a little automated savings go into a separate account. Now, I never know what I'm getting paid, what day, how frequent. I could get paid nothing for 3 weeks and then get hit with a massive lump sum.
Right.
So it's really, really hard for me to budget and plan ahead even. And I think that that's probably the most stressful part of what I do for a living. And that's definitely something that I'm worried about in terms of bringing another mouth to feed and, you know, child into the family.
Yeah, and you know, I would say to that it's the first of many life sacrifices and life moments that you start thinking about when you have a kid. Like, I love this career, but it's not very stable. Or I love this career, but it's not doing what it needs to do to make it possible to have a family. And I think that being a parent is just a lot of sacrifices and iterations and changes that start to happen. So even before that baby comes into the world, you're already thinking about how to set up. And I will also add that no one has their shit together before they become a parent. But I know that this is something that's coming up for you quite a lot. And I can hear it that you're like, but I need to have my finances and I've got this mouth to feed and sort of this anxiety that's building up. We speak a lot about mental health and kind of interrupting those thought patterns, sour worms aside. How do you try and bring some balance to your mind when you start spiraling like that?
Yeah, because you can start catastrophizing, right? You think, well, if I don't have X, then how can I possibly have Z? You know, and it keeps kind of.
And what about private school? And what if
Yeah.
they need braces?
Yeah.
Lisa needs braces. Yeah.
Do we even live in a good neighborhood with a good school nearby? Do I have to
Yes.
put them down now?
Yes.
I mean, my mum put me down at my fancy private school from the day I was born.
Oh, I literally had this conversation with someone last week. It actually made me feel like I was going to throw up. They were like, so where's Minty going to high school? I'm like, she still wets the bed. Like, are you kidding me? We're doing this now?
So much to think about.
So much to think about.
I always try to remind myself that perfection does not equal good parenting, right? Forgetting to eat, having messy days doesn't disqualify me from being a good mum. It just makes me human. And honestly, I think kids do benefit from seeing that. I think if anything, I don't want to model some like glossy, impossible, Barbie version of womanhood for my kids. I want them to see real life. And if that means sometimes that mum's in her PJs when she picks them up from school, then like, so be it. I mean, there'll be cool PJs.
They'll be really cool PJs.
But I think that you don't have to have, not your shit together, but like you don't have to be living this perfect cookie cutter life to be a good parent.
No, absolutely not. And I think even if you tried to do that, it's impossible.
You drive yourself insane.
You drive yourself insane. Parenting is, by definition, just a hot mess, and you sort of fumble your way through. Tull, do you think that social media is kind of to blame here when we think about propagating this sense of stability and, not perfection, but certainly something close to it before having kids?
Yeah, social media has turned having a baby into this kind of checklist, right?
Yes.
Like you get the house, you get the career, you have your
what are those stupid rocking beds called? Snooze.
You get your snoo.
Just that cheeky couple $1,000, by the way. Yeah. To be honest, if they made them in adult size, I would get one for myself.
Well, look, apparently they're not all they're cracked up to be, because apparently your baby then struggles to self-soothe when you are traveling. Anyway, I know a lot about snooze. You get the house, you get your career, you have your black and white maternity shoot down on the beach somewhere with some big cliff faces behind you, and you're wearing a flowy spell dress.
We're going to have to throw in the photos. Do you remember my maternity shoot?
You had long hair. You looked very like culty at that time.
It was giving culty, wasn't it? It was in like a field.
And you bleached your eyebrows.
No, girl, I just didn't have any eyebrows during pregnancy.
Oh, because you couldn't dye them.
No.
Wait, what? What color are your eyebrows
naturally? What
naturally?
happened to my face during pregnancy? So this is like a TikTok thing. Sorry to like take us on a little meandering journey. But if you look up pregnancy face, some people go whack. And I went nuts looking. So I went from a really cute pregnant lady, like, oh, look at you, little pregnant bub. By the time that baby came out, I had no eyebrows. Your nose grows. Did you know that? Your nose
that's
grows.
what Khloe Kardashian has always blamed her nose on, is pregnancy nose.
I looked like a potato.
I think you looked beautiful. I think you looked really Mother Earth. Like,
I'm going to share with you.
It was odd you having such long feminine hair.
I was very Earth mom.
Yeah.
It was COVID, babe. Like, we were locked inside. I was just.
Yeah, I was dating a 27-year-old, but that's another day.
Two best friends at very different life stages.
That really applies to every part of our life. So yeah, I think social media, you see these perfect mums, right? These mummy bloggers, these mummy influencers, and they have these beautiful houses. Everything's beige. For some reason, they've got
beige mum.
They've got like a white couch and it's still white.
Yeah. You know what they're not showing, which is all the other part. And I think that we're starting to see a very slow turn on socials where they are starting to show the mess. And I know personally, if I'm doing something to camera, I used to clean up the, behind me and put toys away and whatever. And I've recently started going, no, I'm just going to leave that.
Yeah.
That's
it's relatable. I think that
mess.
Plenty of people throughout history have had kids without ever ticking all those, boxes in a row.
Yes.
Plenty of people have had kids without doing a black and white maternity shoot, down in like Black Rock. We just didn't have the 24/7 access to seeing that.
Yeah. Or just a camera in general pointed at your life, right? Like, I think back to growing up in suburbia. I was one of 3 kids. Mum didn't have to have the house looking perfect unless we had people coming over, really.
True.
You were allowed just to have a messy house and a messy life and tracksuit pants.
Unless the cleaners were coming, and then you were told to clean before the cleaners came, and you're like, Mum, why are you paying the cleaners if we have to clean? This makes no sense. I hated that. Clean your room, the cleaners are coming today. What?
And all it went under the bed. All right, Tull, so if you stripped away biology and timelines and pressure, what does your gut say about motherhood for you? Is it a when or is it a maybe?
I don't know. I really thought today was not going to be an emotional episode after last week's. It's a when. I wish it was yesterday, but that's just not been the way my journey has worked out, but that's okay. Even with all the doubts about being ready, even with the part of me that panics about being too old, or too chaotic or too broke. I can't picture a version of my life where I don't have kids. And I think it might not look like what 25-year-old Tully thought it was going to look like. Engaged by 25, married by 30, first kid by 31. But at 37, I know deep, like in my bones, in my soul, that it is something that I truly, truly desperately want. And I think now that I've met Ned, who is just the world's best human being, and he is so amazing with his nieces and he's so great with kids, and what a beautiful man to help bring up, our children. I've made a really good decision there. I've never felt more sure. So the timing and the details is still a work in progress, but it is definitely something that I want sooner rather than later.
I love that.
And you better help me because I'm going to have no idea what I'm goddamn doing.
That's right, people. The gay man mum in me is here to help everyone. So such an interesting one today, Tull. Like I think that it can feel like a real kind of open and closed topic, but then once you start to dig around in it, there's a lot of sort of outside forces that are being quite noisy in our heads when we make these decisions. So I guess my feedback today is pretty simple, and that's for me to put my voice against all of those what ifs. What if I don't own a house before I have a baby? What if I'm not married? What if I don't know what my career is going to be? All of these what ifs that you've kind of listed off. People become parents every day.
Yeah.
All across the world, varying stages of life. Personally, I look back and I realize that at that point in my life, I was almost standing on the edge of this volcano that was about to erupt. So by the time my baby arrived, I was unemployed. My partner was unemployed. We were in the middle of a global pandemic. I was living in a rented Queenslander that was so old, it had a 1950s Bakelite phone still in the wall.
Wow.
Nothing was perfect. It was all about to melt down. But it was okay because, you realize at that point in time that none of that matters. You just have to sort of get on with it if that's what you want to do. And that takes a bit of bravery, I think. 4 years into my journey and a lot of heartache and guilt about whether or not I was ready to be a mum or if I have been a good mum, I have learned that,
Oh, you're getting emotional.
I've learned that you just have to be really clear about what you think you need as a parent and how that's quite different to what your baby needs from you as a parent. Because here's what I know. A baby doesn't care if you own the house that you're sleeping in. A baby doesn't care if you have unwashed hair or you're 10 kilograms overweight. A baby doesn't care if you have a good career or the appropriate number of mum friends or the latest pram or a husband. All your baby cares about is you. It just wants you. It wants your love and your cuddles and your time. It wants to see you smiling and happy and laughing. It wants you to read books and play plastic unicorns in the bath and do Celine Dion performances over breakfast. So your only responsibility before bringing a baby into this world is to know that you have capacity for that, for the love. We've spoken about this topic a lot together, and I think your choice of language is really notable. And this is what's making you feel emotional, because for you, it's always been when and not if. And you have this certainty in your voice that makes me truly believe that one way or another, you're going to be a mum and you're going to be a great mum.
Well, if I can be even 10% of the mother that you are to Minty, then my children will be very, very lucky because you are an amazing mum. And I can't wait to look up to you and just come to you with advice at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, no, girl, I'll be asleep at 3 a.m.
The helpline shuts at 4. Oh, God. One of these days, I promise, we'll
get through an episode without crying.
Where we don't end up in tears. I really thought today would be fine. I thought,
no, surprise. It creeps up on you, especially when you become a mum. That's something to look forward to. Just random bursts of tear.
Okay, kids. Well, it's time for this week's homework. We're calling it the Readiness reality check.
Yes, and it is simple, so we want you to make just 2 lists.
The first list, what I think I need to feel ready. This is a fantasy checklist, the perfect savings account, the bigger house, a nailed down routine, emotional stability, all the things that sound like prerequisites.
Okay, and then list number 2, what I actually have already. So think supportive partner, resilience, love to give, ability to adapt. The stuff that doesn't always look shiny on Instagram, but actually matters the most.
And here's the thing, when you compare those 2 lists, you might realize you're closer than you think.
Or at least that ready doesn't always mean perfect. Sometimes it just means willing.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not sure anyone ever feels 100% ready, but love, resilience, and a half-decent snack drawer, that's a pretty good start.
Okay, it's time for this week's self-help scoop of the week. And this one's got us both wishing we were still on the apps.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, not me personally, Ned. Relax, settle down.
Sorry, Ned.
But back in the day, this would have been so up our alley.
Wouldn't it? We would have loved it.
Tinder has just rolled out a double dating feature. Basically, you and a girlfriend can team up, swipe together and set up a group date. And let me tell you, Maggie and I used to go from bar to bar on our recon missions.
We literally used to call them recce's.
Yeah,
do you remember?
recce's.
And we'd be like stumbling down in some giant heels down a little cobbled alleyway.
I would drag us to Dr. Morse, Northside, because I thought we'd find some tattooed
Cool
up
band guys. That's
guys that
right.
played guitar. And you would drag us to Collins Street to try and find some. Anyway.
What did Mum used to call it? She used to say, go to the lawyer bars. I'm sorry to throw you under the bus here, Mum, but she did. She used
The
to
lawyer
say,
bars.
put on a nice dress. You and Tully, you go to one of those nice lawyer bars and meet a nice man.
Yeah, well, they're right up your alley because they're 20 years older than us. Anyway.
Anyway, I am obsessed with this new feature from Tinder. I think dating apps are a bit of a minefield already. So why not take a fellow soldier down into battle with you?
Honestly, we would have used and abused this. Do you know how many times I would be swiping and I'd see this guy and I'm like, absolutely not for me in the slightest, but my girlfriend would love you.
Yes.
I always wish there was a forward to a friend feature where you could be
my gosh.
hey, not for me, but here is my girlfriend who's also on the app who would love you. Do you know what I mean?
Pass the parcel.
Pass the parcel.
Pass the parcel. And this kind of ends up happening anyway. It's a pretty small pool, particularly here in Melbourne. There's an app, Raya, how are we pronouncing that?
Americans say Raya, we say Raya.
Raya. And Raya is really interesting because it's a much smaller pool of people, but
Smaller and hotter and more famous.
I was trying to avoid that, but yeah, that's what it is. And if you are on it with a friend, you will always end up dating the same person. I have a group of friends and we all dated
Oh,
the
when
same
you
man.
and I were single together.
Did we ever date the same person?
Oh, mate. Remember,
Did we?
No, we would have to send screen grabs.
Oh, that's right. We did screen grab.
We'd send a screen grab for a sense check and be
Yes.
like, hey, just making sure this is all
Just making
good.
sure. You don't know this guy.
Remember that weird Scottish guy that wouldn't leave us alone? Duncan? If you're listening, Duncan, you're a freak.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of an add to cart, but for your single mate.
Yeah, or imagine if there was a recycle bin feature where I've dated him, it didn't work out for us, but lovely guy. I'm going to chuck him back in with my stamp of approval.
Oh, yes. Or a friend filter where you can make sure that there's no overlap with your friend's exes, untick certain people that you're not going to match with.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you're friends with so-and-so, then you're not going to be my kind of guy.
Yes,
Or what
yes.
about a parental approval mode where you can only swipe right, but only if your mum would like him. Do you know what I mean?
It's a small pool unless you're a lawyer working on Collins Street.
My mum, bless her soul, would have matched me exclusively with guys with kind eyes who are doctors, I think. She always liked a kind eyes.
No, Mum
Does he
used to
have
say
kind
that as
eyes?
well. Yeah, does he have nice eyes?
Good character.
Yeah,
Sense
screw
of
that,
humour.
Mum. I want someone that's 6 foot with, a six pack as well. Anyway, to be honest, Tully, you have ended up with someone with kind eyes. So,
I have.
Yep,
I
Kay
have.
would be very
Hey,
happy.
look, it's proof that my parent-approved mode would work.
Anyway, I kind of love the idea that double dating could bring some of the fun back into the apps. Less pressure, more giggles, more safety.
Yeah.
And, someone just to witness the other person and go, no good.
And also hype them up. You and I would be and she's smart and she's funny and haha, how funny was that joke? But let's be honest, 2-on-2 dates sound way less intimidating than sitting across from a stranger who is still holding on to a Nokia ringtone.
Hot tip, if his text tone is still Crazy Frog, he's not your guy.
Unless you're into that. No judgment. A little bit of judgment.
Velcro wallet.
For our last segment for today's episode, I am taking some inspo from a card game that Ned and I bought, one of many, because I am a sucker for a card game.
You are. I'm pretty sure every barbecue we've had at your house has ended up with some kind of card. I don't even own a set of cards.
I have a whole drawer. Like, it's supposed to be a linen cupboard, but it's just full of card games. I'm obsessed. I'm a fun time at a party. What can I say?
Yeah, you really are. Anyway, this week we're playing a little game called Overrated or Underrated. We've each picked 3 things and the other has to decide whether they're overrated or underrated. Or maybe just rated. If they're
Just rated.
Just straight up rated.
The person voting then has to give a reason why. Are you ready, Max?
I think so. Just really hoping this doesn't backfire and the Swifties don't come for me. I'm not saying anything about Taylor Swift, okay? She's a really nice person.
Just so we have it on like record, you brought up Taylor Swift. After I said I wouldn't, you just said Taylor Swift. So
I know, we need like a little bell that rings every time we say her name.
like a dump button. All right. Are we going to go 1 for 1 or are you going to give me your 3 in a row?
Let's go 1 for 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you written them down? You can't remember.
My brain doesn't work that quickly. Okay, so my first one, and these are 3 things actually that I've done today. I was like, what are 3 things I've done today? Yeah, today. You've been very busy.
You had a busy day.
Very busy day. 1, cutting down on coffee. I was having 4 coffees a day, and now I'm trying to have 1. Overrated or underrated?
Underrated. It's interesting that we've been friends for so long and yet you still can't remember that I don't drink coffee.
Every coffee shop we go to, I go, hey, Tal, what do you want? And
It's
she
very
goes,
sweet.
I've known you for almost 20 years. I don't drink coffee. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
I think cutting down on coffee can be nothing but a positive thing. I think it's underrated.
Okay.
All right, ready for my first one?
Yep.
Now this could get me cancelled.
Okay.
This could very well start World War III after we've been dealing with, I've had to be deleting comments left, right and centre, Maggie. People at the Swifties are coming for you.
How exciting. What is it?
Seinfeld.
What, are you pro
I'm
or
not going to
against?
say a thing. You have to give me your thoughts
Oh,
first.
it's just a topic.
Overrated or underrated?
Underrated. Seinfeld is elite.
I really hate Seinfeld.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's funny at all.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's funny in the slightest. I think it's lame and it's just not for me. I think it's way overrated.
How did you ever survive dating? It's like everyone's second.
That's why it
dating
would
prompt.
weed out the guys that like we weren't gonna, I'm like an
What a
office,
triage. Girl,
Parks
you might
and
have
Rec.
weeded me out as well.
I'm like that's like my kind of humor, like Office, Parks and Rec, like
Like dry humor? But Jerry Seinfeld was
30
super
Rock.
dry.
No, I hated
yes,
it.
he was.
No, anyway,
Could we at least rate his shoes?
no, or his sneens. No,
Okay.
he's just. I think underrated. You think no. I think overrated. You think underrated.
That one hurt. Learn so much about you through these games, don't we? Okay,
Why
my
are we
second thing-
friends? Is what I'm hearing.
And that's the end of the show. All right, my second one is cancelling plans that you don't want to go to.
Underrated.
Yes,
Underrated.
thank God you think that. So I share custody of my daughter, which means that during the week I have 2 nights off parenting duty. And I usually try and cram some like social things in there. I had made dinner plans for tonight. I woke up and I thought, don't want to do that. Cancelled them. Oh, such a good feeling.
The only thing better than that is when the other person
cancels, yes.
and you get to be like, oh, I was
Yes.
really looking forward to that.
so
Such
kind
a shame.
and benevolent. Yeah.
All right, are you ready? This is
Okay.
a bit niche. This is a bit left of center.
Yeah.
At home, foot spas.
Ooh, overrated.
What is that? You may as well just put your feet in a bucket of warm water.
Is this like one of those?
like the Mother's Day, like the vibrating ones?
Oh no, I thought you meant one of those like socks that you put your feet in and like it erodes
Oh, no,
the dead
I love
skin.
that. No, that is underrated. No, those like machines that you would buy like your mum, like the Breville, and you put your little feet in and the
Like
water
a toaster.
bubbles and you put some lavender essential oils in
Oh
there.
no. No, I think half of the joy of going for a massage is that someone else is doing it for you.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, my last one, cringe, but hey, let's put it out there. Having to Google Gen Z slang.
I think that's just rated because I have to do that too.
I had to Google on the way here and I'm sitting here on the tram, no glasses on, so looking at my phone fully like an old person going, What is skibbity?
Skibbity dip. Skibbity.
What
is
we're
it?
both looking at our producer Ali right now.
Skibbity.
Skibbity?
Skibbity. What does
Yucky.
slay the boots house down mean?
What? What do those words
Slay
even
the
mean
boots
together?
house down. I don't know what that means. I think it's rated. Like I think it's fairly rated.
Okay.
Like
all
I
right.
think it's.
But it's a private thing. It's a private activity.
Well, you've just shared it with our listeners, but I feel like our listeners are the kind of people that are also doing that.
What are you guys Googling? That's what I want to know. What's the most obscure Gen Z slang that you found yourself having to Google? I am so keen to know.
Please let us know in the comments. Okay, this last one is equally. My three have been. I mean, the middle one was a bit of a. How's your father? I'm going to cause some problems here. Maybe I'll get cancelled this week. Fingers crossed. Spicy margs.
Oh, underrated.
Overrated.
Wow.
I think they're so overrated.
Why are we friends?
I think
what
that
do we have in common?
I think that white women have made them a personality trait. I think that
That's true.
It is so overdone,
Yeah.
overused, overrated. It is in everybody's dating profiles.
They do give me heartburn.
It's not a personality trait to like a spicy marg.
Is a spicy mug the new espresso martini?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I remember
And an espresso martini is the new amaretto sour.
or porn star martini.
And that brings us right back to Tully and I going on our recce missions on a Saturday night.
Oh, to be young. So basically this segment has just made me question once again for the countless time in my life, how and why are we friends? Because we are,
I can tell you why, Tull.
How?
Because we both love a dirty martini.
I don't, I hate olives.
You just proved me wrong. At least you both love coffee.
I hate olives. I hate martinis. Oh my God, does she don't know me at all? When's my
Dad,
birthday, Maggie?
I want us to still
When's
talk.
my birthday? Oh my God.
I know it. It's the 17th of
18th of October.
18th of October. 17th. All right, babes, we would love to keep chatting, but sadly, Tully and I are no longer friends anymore. Show is over.
Lucky for you guys, Self-Helped is all about free advice, and it doesn't really matter whether we're friends or not. We will still host this show from two women who have spent a lot of money on theirs.
Every week, we'll be inviting you to pull up a chair and let us spill the tea on what we've learned, not just from therapy or each other, but from the roller coaster of life.
The wins, the mess, and the surprisingly sound advice we've gotten from strange women at the lawyers' bars on Collins Street. We're here for each other and hopefully for you too.
If you like what you've heard, hit subscribe, leave us a glowing review, and follow us on Instagram at selfhelpedpod. Validation is our love language.
We'll be back in your ears every Thursday wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Thank you for tuning into Self-Helped.
We'll see you at your next appointment. Don't be late. We'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people, the traditional owners of the land on which we've recorded today's episode, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
Always was, always will be.